course, and that is going to actually benefit the Numenon Blast from hitting. But once again, Mirko, take us into the portal.
Ladies and gentlemen, the portal has opened up for us to dive right in. The Land of Dawn is here. Welcome to Game 3, RRQ Hoshi versus ONIC Esports for match point.
You can see here it's changed because remember in Game 1 was a Kai against Bellman, Game 2 a Ling against an Assassin as well. But Game 3 it seems like now Paquito against Albert, already a change. But take a look at Vin here, bot side.
Well, all right, Boots here early on, gonna get bullied, and this is what we expected ONIC to actually do, right? Play around that XP lane. Skylar has been left alone in that top side. Keyboy is going to actually help out that gold lane for a bit early on.
We're gonna see what happens here. Right now, already rotations happening. Keyboy is gonna have a little bit of an edge, but so does the Lilia with the additional wave clear that she has, especially not reliant on that level 4.
You can see here again the battle. R7 as well, Boots. Actually, it's quite interesting to see Clay rotating towards bot side, realizing that the top side should perhaps be the main concern here for both of the teams. But then again, we are now seeing here RRQ Hoshi actually already leading in a goal, just slightly. We'll see here ONIC Esports. What can they do?
Albert already rotating towards his bottom side, trying to help out R7 here against Boots. He is going to get chunked a little low here, but they are looking for a pick because they want to start setting up for the next neutral objective, which is that turtle that spawns in 10 seconds. However, they haven't been able to find that correct opening, so it is going to come back to this 4v4 situation.
Mind you that Sans is on that Purify, so if Albert wants to go all in, and if that Minimum Blast later connects, that Purify might just be the difference maker here. As we can see here, Keyboy chunking Albert to half HP actually.
Let's see, once again, Albert with half HP. Kyrie trying to look for that opening. Now Blasto charged in, Finn goes in. Unable to connect onto anyone. Heavy spin, bringing Keyboy back, but it's going to be the turtle secured. Boots comes in with a missile strike flicker combo. Albert taken down by Kyrie. First blood over to ONIC Esports is traded in. Vin going to fall to Boots as well. 2 for 1. Turtle for 2 kills to ONIC.
ONIC Esports now with a slight gold advantage. It is still coming back and forth as both of these teams are really great at these trades. We can see Skylar trying to bully out CW with Clay also roaming up in that area, trying to put some pressure, realizing that there is going to be a lot of emphasis here in the gold lane when it goes into the later stages of the game.
Also keep in mind that Kyrie is on that killing spree, so when he is going on a rampage, that killing spree might help, but no, not high and dry. So when one member of RRQ is isolated, there is no extra damage with this emblem. RRQ Hoshi here still somehow, it's a stalemate-ish, but take a look at the talents prediction by F here. Dead even again.
3-3 once again. All right, I'm in an ONIC sandwich right now in the English desk, it seems. Onwawa is alone as well in the Indo desk. We'll see who gets it right this time. I do still prefer RRQ's draft, honestly, just because they are going to be able to actually use this Akai to control those neutral objectives with the Lolita as well, but mainly it's not used to create a snowball in this game. In Game 2, they use this neutral objective control to create that snowball, right? To ultimately end the game in the mid stages. But in this game, RRQ are using that neutral objective control to actually scale and give the item power spikes over to R7 and towards Skylar. Bottom side, almost R7 taken down.
You can see here ONIC Esports chunking that gold filter at bot side, which means extra gold. Emblem-wise, a little bit of everything for Lolita, but this side.
Finn gonna be caught. Circling Eagle brings him back there, but I don't think the real world manipulation will be enough at this stage of the game.
I really do believe that the Matilda in the composition of ONIC Esports was just the cherry on top, because there are so many heroes that are very dive-in, very all-in heroes that can be taken out, can be created to disengage with the guiding wind that can help. And this is great because they don't have to go in for all-ins. And we're going to see how exactly is this going to pan out, especially on the neutral objective take.
Circling Eagle onto Clay. R7's low vision strike by Boots with a flicker, picking that kill up. One-man advantage now as Kyrie looks for it. Albert still able to find that retribution. Kyrie pinned down for Finn. Numenon Blast coming in. Flicker as well. Kyrie taken down. It's a turtle and a kill over to RRQ. Keyboy gonna be gunned down by Skylar as he rotates from the gold lane faster than CW. It's a worth trade for RRQ, but CW is looking for that blazing duet. Goes in, not canceled out.
Wow.
Good BMI over to Clay. Amazing translation from CW. And it's going to be a disengage from both of these teams.
We are now seeing here RRQ Hoshi responding back. That turtle take was pleasant. Why? Because they got the turtle and they got Kyrie as well. That's just a cherry on top for RRQ. A very good build-up in the early lead. And remember, this first 5 minutes, we are now about to enter the mid-game where Lilia, where Beatrix, and as well as Uranus shines most. ONIC Esports needs to be very, very careful, but they are still in an okay track.
There's a little split though, right? Because in the top side, they are going to win that lane for RRQ, but in the bottom side, it does seem like ONIC Esports has a little bit of an advantage. So it all depends on the mid lane rotations. And so far, both of these teams have been rotating rather easily, although Keyboy on the Matilda is going to have an additional advantage because of the movement speed.
And right now, as it stands, again, right, both teams are playing it really slow, playing around those objectives. If the game just goes even onto that late game, it's going to be dangerous. R7, there you go, taken out. This is the combo we mentioned in the draft. ONIC Esports can just use the Paquito and Dairos to get these picks in the XP lane. The kill pressure is absolutely insane with this two heroes comboed together.
The pick hasn't been converted onto an objective though so far. 5 seconds left for R7 to spawn, and that's enough time for them to set up for the next turtle. But here we go, ONIC Esports going in aggressive.
Oh, Albert as well though, going in, blazing the wet popped in, but he's gonna be stunned up. CW getting out with the BMI once again. Renner shot to the mid wave. No kills over to anyone, but it's a good chain of events for ONIC Esports to chain it towards the turtle. They're gonna fall back though. They don't really know where Albert is. Finally, they do go for the commitment onto the turtle. They grab it, just like you guys can grab food with the grb.to/MPL. 90% discount code. Tap the phone a bit back to get that replay of this QR code. But ONIC Esports are back.
What they're doing in the mid lane, it was actually ONIC Esports trying to create space for that turtle take bot side. And we can see here, item-wise, Beatrix already with that early BOD, and in response, DHS already secured. RRQ Hoshi with their fast rotations here, they are able to collect already 2 turrets, which means the mid-tier 1 is only left standing, and that's going to be the main focus forward side of RRQ Hoshi, to have more space to suffocate ONIC Esports. Meanwhile, ONIC Esports, what they need to do is really pick their battles, because now RRQ is already trying to invade the jungles of ONIC Esports.
Sans already picked up the Ice Queen wand as well. He opted for that first instead of the Enchanted Talisman, so he's going to have a lot of slow, but he needs to be very careful when he uses his spells. He can't spam it like Clay can spam it, so that's something that they do need to be aware of, as now ONIC Esports going to rotate here to the top side, trying to win that lane, trying to push, and look how much damage Boots has as Kyrie goes in.
R7 able to dodge for now, gets out. A good escape by R7. Played that well with the sprint and the consecration. RRQ looking for a response down below there. Vin just goes in for a stun. Not much they can do here since ONIC Esports are very mobile. But at least ONIC Esports will be able to pick up a turret up top with that play. Not a kill to R7 though.
One thing to note that if only and only if ONIC Esports has a Dominance Ice, I think Uranus might be melted down top side though. Remember, seeing the items, Dominance Ice has yet to be built by the side of ONIC Esports, which is going to be the job for Keyboy and as well as Boots very soon. But you mentioned Ice Queen 1, it turned on Clay has Ice Queen 1 himself as well. So when Kyrie wants to engage, he needs to be careful, because that slow effect might actually be detrimental for himself.
They need to be careful of how they set up, because RRQ Hoshi's composition is going to be favored if they clump up into weird positions. If they go in for those bottleneck team fights, it's going to heavily favor RRQ Hoshi, with a deadly spin coming in from Albert, with as well as the damage coming in from Clay and the AoE slows. It's going to be difficult. ONIC, they need to play this really intelligently.
Conceal there. Vin gonna go stun onto Sans. Real world manipulation. No, it was still in range of Nibiru's Bastion. Sans taken out. Clay as well. Both of the mid laners falling. Circling Eagle on towards Albert. R7 gonna be taken to half HP. CW jumps into the blazing duet, dealing so much damage. But the Luminal Blast comes in with a heavy spin. Albert is able to pin them down. Luminal Blast as well. Skylar is gonna be able to gun them down. CW and Keyboy running. Skylar! Holy moly! The snipe from the man himself.
Oh my god, and now that's gonna give them so much space. 3 members taken down for the price of 2, as they are now gonna be able to secure that Lord without contest. And that was just a really well set up team fight. And ONIC Esports kind of scrambled there in that team fight.
A little bit. I feel like ONIC Esports forced that fight there. I think with Sans went down and they already equalized taking Clay down, they should have just backed off and reset. But now, RRQ Hoshi with this Lord, they might take all of the tier 2s. We'll see though.
Beatrix on Skylar is just too much, man. How did he get those snipes? They were...
No.
Oh, I don't even know.
No.
Beatrix is just... You can't let that fall into the hands of Skylar. It's just not a thing anymore.
I cannot believe that just happened, man. What a snipe. That was nasty. But again, RRQ, they're gonna reset once again, right? They don't need to be too aggressive. Meanwhile, for ONIC Esports here, this is again, like I mentioned, the reason I went for my prediction over to RRQ. I feel like RRQ in the draft have just built themselves such a good composition because they're able to scale towards that power spike for Skylar so well. And now that Skylar has gotten that item power spike, they're able to actually dictate the tempo of the game. Top side taken down, all tier 2s across the map out just with the first Lord. And ONIC Esports are back to that defensive playstyle that they usually have when they're losing. And this time, though, it's a bit scarier because Skylar can do that.
That's not fair. That's not fair how much damage he does. 4,000 gold lead now for RRQ Hoshi. In addition to the damage that Skylar has with the items that he's already obtained, he's also given the WON, the Wind of Nature. So even if CW wants to go into that back line, use the Blazing Duet, there is a possibility that Skylar can outmatch him in that long-range position.
Exactly, the domino effect here from that Lord take, from that exchange earlier in the mid-side, they managed to increase their lead to 4,000, which means ONIC Esports, they are more in the hot seat, but wow, clutch retribution there from Kyrie. Again, back to my point here, ONIC Esports, they need to reset, they need to find, I guess, the loophole on towards Clay here, but then again, Clay, I think he is now building towards the winner's truncheon, so we'll have to wait and see, folks. Skylar is already at full items, mind you.
Because in a 5v5 team fight, how are ONIC Esports supposed to engage onto RRQ Hoshi with so little CC that they have?
They need to find a good pickup first, I feel like. Well, they can't capitalize on the offlaner here on Uranus. I saw Q-Boy has built that dominance ice, so I feel like they can bank in on towards Uranus. When 5v4, then try to beat RRQ Hoshi mechanically.
Ooh, it's going to be tough, though, if they actually want to go for that mechanical duel, right? Now that RRQ are still ahead, ONIC Esports are going to have to look for a very good team fight to seal the deal. Right now, Skylar has a better way to dish out damage without getting hurt on the Beatrix compared to CW, who needs to dive in with that Blazing Duet. And now, R7, he's at a point where it's very hard to kill him. Boots and everyone needs to really just put their resources onto R7 if they want to kill him. But guess what? He's a tank. That's what he's made for, to soak in damage. Abyssum Strike popped in with a Flicker as well, but there you go. Once again, 2 massive resources spent, the Flicker and the Abyssum Strike. R7 can just regen back up, but now, there you go, ONIC not letting that happen. CW jumps in with the Blazing Duet in the real world. Inflation locks them in place. Numinat Blast popped in. CW able to back off. Kyrie feeling the damage. Clay trying to poke them down. No members taken down for now. Clay, though, needs to be very careful. Keyboy's going on to him. It's very low. Albert is looking for that pickoff. Both teams disengage for now.
Wow, we are seeing a very, very mechanical team fight from RRQ and as well as ONIC Esports. No casualties on the board here. And we can see here the Lord, what they need to do again. RRQ needs to bail out of the information whereabouts ONIC Esports, and they can't just reset here, toying around the Lord. And we can see here Skylar is already up and ready with that with that Beatrix. Let's go.
You can call him Skylar. You can call the hero Skylar. He's been doing a lot with it. Circling Eagle, though, now popped in onto Vin, putting him off position. Skylar still positioning really well. Albert going to be getting the pin onto CW. My goodness, what a pick. Skylar picks up the kill. Now Boots diving in with a Abyssum Strike. Kyrie! Flickers out, but Kyrie secures the Lord. He saves the game for ONIC Esports. But with 3 members down.
At what cost?
RRQ might be able to end the game still.
At what cost, right? 3 members taken down, 20 seconds left. And this is RRQ Hoshi with Skylar. So the siege potential is there. It's going to be really difficult for them to defend this, but look at this.
Sans with the Purify, able to back off. Skylar dishing out the damage once again. One Cannon is still alive. Keyboy looking to clear it out, baiting it really well right now. 5 seconds onto CW. Sans with the defense once again. Keyboy jumps in, but it's going to be RRQ. Look at the base. It's wide open, and it's match point for the Kings of Kings.
RRQ Hoshi lead the series once again.